What's going on, guys? Welcome back to this new episode of Restorations with Vick. What I have on my desk today are these 2006 89 white cement fours in a disgusting condition. What I'm gonna do in this video is give the shoe a good Rejuvenator deep clean inside and out, get these sock liners back to white. The sock liners are disgusting. That's how this whole shoe is. After the cleaning, we're gonna repaint the midsoles, match the gray, recreate the speckle effect. We're gonna airbrush the white back onto the yellow netting, remove the yellowing off the soles, and do some work on the leather uppers. We got some work ahead of us, guys, so enough chit chat, let's get started. So this shoe did not come with any shoelaces or insoles, so we're just gonna go straight to putting in our adjustable Rejuvenator shoe tree to size. This shoe tree is gonna come in handy to remove all this creasing once the shoe's fully clean and dried. Let's go ahead and put this shoe to the side. All right, good to go. It also helps us apply pressure with a brush as we're cleaning. So for this cleaning, we're gonna be using Rejuvenator's 3-brush advanced stick and laundry system. We're gonna need all 3 brushes to give the shoe a proper deep clean. Once the pre-treatment is fully done, we're gonna put the shoe inside our sneaker laundry bag with our detergent inside the washing machine. That way we can get all the grime out the shoe and really get these sock liners back to white. Using the washing machine is gonna be the only way to get the shoe looking right. So the first step we're gonna wanna do is grab our Rejuvenator solution and pour it inside our bowl of water. 2 squirts is all you need, guys. The first brush we're gonna be using for this cleaning is a soft bristle brush. I like to use this brush first because I like to break down the dirt all over the shoe before I start focusing on certain areas. So let's go ahead and dunk it in our solution. All right, so the uppers are starting to look pretty good overall with just a little scrubbing with the soft bristle brush. Moving on, as we let the dirt break down on the uppers, we're gonna go ahead and clean up the insides using the same brush, which is a soft bristle. All right, these sock liners look pretty good for just some scrubbing. The washing machine is really gonna take it up to the next level and really bring back the pure whiteness. Last thing we're gonna do with this brush is scrub this dirty patch. We're gonna brush in a circular motion and then move on to the next brush. All right, that's it for the soft bristle brush. The patch looks good, the insides look good. Let's go ahead and pop in our Rejuvenator shoe tree back inside the shoe so we can scrub the uppers. There we go. For the uppers, we're gonna be using our all-purpose medium brush. We'll be using this brush to scrub the stitching all over the white leather. It's really dark and dingy. We're also gonna be using this brush to scrub the netting. Under the netting, it's super dirty as well. We're gonna try to get most of that grime out of the shoe before we put it in the washing machine. Let's go ahead and do it. All right, guys, we got the uppers fully soaked up. It's good to go. All done with the medium all-purpose. Let's finish off strong and clean up these soles. Just by looking at them, I could already tell the grime's deep inside the white. I could use a stick bristle brush. It'll get the grime out with no problem, but it'll just take a little bit more effort and work. So instead of doing that, I'm gonna just skip right to the brass bristle. This brush is gonna save us some time cleaning up these soles. All right, guys, so here's a quick glance on how well the brass bristle works. Just a little scrubbing, not even 10 seconds worth of scrubbing. I got it looking that white, super easy. The brass bristle really works. All right, guys, so I think I did all the scrubbing I could do on this shoe. Everything on this shoe has been fully cleaned. The insides, the uppers, and the soles. All I gotta do now is put the shoe inside our sneaker laundry bag with our detergent inside the washing machine to get the grime fully flushed out the shoe and fully cleaned up so we can move on with this restoration. Alright guys, so like I mentioned, at our new setup, we don't have a washing machine, so we came to Quinn's house to borrow his. His is a bit more advanced than the one I'm used to. The one at the old setup had like 3 buttons. This one has a million freaking buttons. We'll figure it out. Let's start off by putting the shoe inside the washing machine and grabbing our detergent. All we need is 1 full ounce. Squeeze and pour. All right, that's good to go. Let's go ahead and close it up. Turn it on. We're gonna wanna use a normal cycle. So normal, cold water, that's important. We'll put a high spin. I think that's all the important stuff when it comes to the washing machine. So let's go ahead and start it. All right guys, we are back. Shoes are fully dried and clean. First thing I'm noticing right away is how well these sock liners turned out. As you can see, the washing machine really took it up to the next level and brought back the whiteness. Same thing with the patch on the tongues and the mesh under the netting. I wasn't too worried about the mesh because that is gonna get painted over, but the clean turned out really well. The stitching all over the white uppers, white, good to go. Soles look great, thanks to the brass bristle brush. Overall, this cleaning couldn't have gone any better, and that is thanks to Rejuvenator's 3-brush advanced single liner system. So moving on with this restoration, we're gonna remove the yellowing off the front toe part of the shoe. Same thing with this back piece. We'll be using 40 volume developer. For the last 3 years, I've been calling this thing by its wrong name. It's actually 40 volume developer. I learned that last night. Let's go ahead and apply it with the paintbrush, and then we'll apply the Saran wrap. All right, so we made it to my indoor setup. Last week I used my Reptile light. It doesn't work as fast, so I came back to my Mars Girl light. I don't have my old setup, so I kinda had to make do with what I had. Found a shovel, hanging the light. Let's go ahead and put that to the side real quick. Put the shoe inside. All right guys, we got the little yellowing out of the sole. Didn't take long at all. So moving on with this restoration, we're gonna go ahead and do a lot of prep work, focusing on first the midsoles. What we gotta do first is tape off the uppers so we can strip it using acetone and cotton balls. All right, taping's good to go. Let's go ahead and remove the paint. All right, midsoles are fully stripped. This is easily one of the smoothest midsoles I've ever stripped. I can't wait to paint it. Moving on with this prep work, we have to work on the upper still. As you can see on the toe box over here and some areas on the back, there's some rough areas. Not too bad, but I do need to use some 1200 grit sandpaper to smooth it down. That way when I go in and paint it, it's not as rough looking. All right, let's go ahead and remove the tape. All right guys, the prep work's fully done. Go ahead and check out the toe box. There was a lot of deep scratches in the toe box in the back area. The front area came out really good. I spent a good 30 minutes sanding that area down. It's super smooth. That's as smooth as it's gonna get. The back area is okay. It's not as good as the front area, but it's paintable. So moving on with this restoration, we gotta do some tape work before we can start painting. We're gonna tape off everything but the netting on the uppers. Tape job good to go. Off camera, I went ahead and sprayed the shoe using some adhesion bulldog promoter. What this stuff does, it helps the paint adhere to the material a lot better. So let's go ahead and lay down some paint now. We'll be using Jacquard white paint mixed with a little bit of gray to tone down the whiteness using my new Iwata airbrush gun. Netting looks good. The white isn't too bright. It's nice and subtle with the rest of the white leather. Moving on with this restoration, let's move on to the midsoles. We gotta do some more taping. We're gonna tape off the uppers and soles this time. Same thing with the air unit so we can lay down the white and then the custom mixed color gray and add the speckle effect. All right, all taped up. Once again, let's start off this midsole repaint by laying down some Angela's flat white paint with an angular brush. White paint's good to go, guys. So far, the paint job on this is coming out super smooth. That's thanks to having a perfect midsole, applying nice even paint coats all around, and doing quick brush strokes in different directions. Those are keys to getting a perfect midsole repaint. So now the next step we're gonna do is tape off the white so we can lay down the gray. For the gray paint, it was really hard to mix and match. It took me a good 2 hours to do so, but this is the color mixture that I came up with. You wanna use bone, flat white, mist, dark bone, light gray, and drop of scarlet red. This is honestly the trick right here. I do not have exact ratios for you guys because I was just kind of throwing paints inside a little jar, but just so you guys know, these are the colors you want to create the perfect mixture for these shoes. So let's go ahead and tape it off so we can lay down the paint. Okay guys, we got the gray fully laid down on the midsole. The midsole is pretty much almost good to go. The next step you gotta do is create the speckle effect. Super easy to recreate. All you gotta do is have the uppers obviously taped up, have some black paint in your palette, and the most important part is a toothbrush. You're gonna dip it in the black paint and just kinda sprinkle it on the shoe in a nice even direction. That way it doesn't look inconsistent. All right, the speckle effect came out pretty dope. It looks spot on. I might go back in and touch it up by adding a little more bigger speckles, but for now, it looks good. Let's go ahead and remove the tape and see how it looks. Midsole repaint is completely done, guys. Let's go ahead and finish strong and move on to the uppers. As you can see, like I mentioned earlier, we have scratches on the toe box and the back area. So using this white paint that's been mixed with a little gray, same thing I did with the netting on the uppers. I toned it down with some gray because the shoe isn't a brand new white. So that's why I use the gray to tone down the whiteness. So we're gonna go ahead and apply it using an angular brush. All right, I think that's it. Touches are fully done. Uppers are painted, the netting's good to go. Midsoles are good. Let's go outside and protect this entire shoe using some Try-On and finish. All right, YouTube, that is gonna bring us to an end on this full restoration on these 2016 white cement 4s. The restoration on these came out beautiful. Let's go ahead and break down exactly what I did. The first step I did to bring the shoe back to life was the Rejuvenator Street Brush Advanced Eagle Varnish System. I did not use the stiff bristle brush because I skipped to the brass. I used a soft bristle for the insides, the patch, and all over the shoe. The medium bristle to bring back the whiteness all over the stitching and all around the white leather. The brass bristle for the soles. Once the pre-treatment was fully done, I put the shoe inside our Seagull laundry bag with our detergent inside the washing machine, and that's how we got these results. After that was all done, I moved on to removing the yellowing off the sole using my indoor setup. I repainted the midsoles, got the gray match perfectly. Same thing with the speckle effect, came out perfect. I touched up the uppers. There was a lot of scuffs and scratches all around. Repainted the netting and got the shoe looking freaking beautiful. You could buy all their stuff you see right here at rejuvenator.com. Check out my promo code in the description below. This is Vic. I'll see you guys next Monday.